and Kiwis. This is week 2 of this meeting, and I'm so excited to have this. Every single thing, there's a saying that you don't despise small beginnings, right? And to build something and to build confidence, the reality is it typically takes, as my mentor taught me, it typically takes longer than you expect to be able to get to where you want to get to. Right? Who here is in a rush? You'd rather get to your goals yesterday rather than tomorrow, right? Like we all want that. But if it were that straightforward, the reality is more people would be successful. But the truth of the matter is, like, life tests you. Have you guys noticed that? Like, what's up, Esther? Great to see you. Life gives you a big test. It's like God's like, hey, do you really, really want it? And there's a struggle, right? And it's like, but in that midst, that's why it's so important to start with a really big vision and with a big goal. And when it comes to this team in particular, building out Australia, building out New Zealand, the vision is clear. I believe that this team is going to build the best culture, the most phenomenal thing out in Australia and New Zealand. And when things hit, they hit really, really quick. So we wanted to call this meeting together because we got to start somewhere. And our goal, as long as I see that you want this and we grow this together and we're partnered up together, like what Partner Co says, better together, we're going to keep on going and we're going to keep on growing. And it's okay if I start with a story. Is that all right with you guys? And we'll go through some cool updates with you guys and everything. When I first got introduced to network marketing, 19 or broke college student or uni student, as you would say, didn't know my butt from my elbow. I remember what happened with something similar of what we're doing in Australia and New Zealand happened. There was a organization that was already really successful. And one of the leaders was sent out. I was in the Bay Area. This is Northern California near San Francisco. I was going to UC Berkeley. I was studying. And I happened to join that company and that team at the beginning of that new team development. So further away, like I think it would be the size of, if you go to Australia, it's one coast to the other coast, kind of like that type of a size. Further away, there was already an established system. There was an established framework. There was an established thing. And so this was a new team. This was a new branch. I didn't know that. I was just brand new. But I remember what happened is my mentor, one of the main reasons why I got started, I met somebody that inspired me. I met somebody that he was the person I wanted to be. I'm like, man, if I could be 10% of this, I didn't know if I could make money. I didn't know, honestly, I didn't even know if this was real or legitimate. A part of me was thinking, is this a scam still? Because I didn't understand business. Of course, it's not. It's legal. It's amazing. I love what we do. But I remember just going to his trainings, and one thing that my mentor is he was super consistent. His philosophies were consistent. His vision was consistent. I hope that these are noteworthy tips because this guy was making a multiple six-figure income. This guy was making more than his parents combined. He was 23 years old, making six figures plus. And he was a college dropout, a uni dropout. And I'm like, I don't mind those results. Who here wouldn't mind an extra six-figure income through your business here, by the way, right? So I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So there's something about this person. And I became so obsessed with picking up the little details, not just what he said, but how he thought. And I was just taking every single note. And no matter rain or snow or sleet or shine, no matter big or small, no matter if there was a major training or if there was one person, he would show up with the same vision and the same philosophies and the same notes. And he just do it over and over and over and over again. And eventually I got born into that place. It only takes one person in your business to transform your business for forever. Just one. You never know. This team got started because of one. And it's a bunch of ones that led us to where we are right now. And fast forward, that exploded. Fast forward, and it was such a good time because there's a benefit of being involved in a newer development because there's proximity. there's closeness to things. Okay. Here's a success hack that has helped me a lot, and I hope it can help you too. If you want to succeed fast, just get around people that have the results that you want and just like be next to them. Find a way. I love what Fina said last week. And this is not a self-promotion thing at all. If you find someone like me a person of value, Fina said, I earned my way into that inner circle. I'm like, you absolutely have, right? So, what's great is when you have a smaller circle, it's easier to earn your way because you're right there. It's like, but when it grows big, this is growing super huge. I want you to envision this. I shared this story last week with Australia, but I'll share it again. I just made a post. If you haven't had a chance to meet them yet, we have the Harpers, Dana and Amelia Harper. Have you guys heard their story yet? Like, they're incredible leaders, 7-figure earners, legends in our industry. And what happened was in their first week, they were able to achieve officer. Now, they're involved. They're professionals, right? They know how to do this thing. So every story is different, but I bring their story up because what happened was in their previous company, they shared with me that once they found a good system that was duplicatable with or without you, that we have our machine, we have our automations, we have everything. And Lucia, by the way, is updating our boards as we speak. Let's give Lucia a big round of applause. Thank you for doing this work. Lucia, how much time do you think you've spent already? Just curious, like how much time do you think you've spent updating these boards and everything?
Not as much as I thought I would need because a lot of it is done. So maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, maybe. Yeah,
Two
it's
or
just
three
tweaking
hours.
and getting it right. And yeah, I'll have to get you to have a look at a couple of things because the elite
Yeah.
duo, I need to have a look at that and make sure that I've got the Barbara Cox Lovesy is just a gem. She's just, she's like the guru of the what's in the product. So yeah, I've just taken all her little bits and added them in, and yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's awesome. It's just I'm
Thank
really
you.
privileged to be doing it, James. I'm just so grateful that I can actually give back for once.
Oh, you're giving in a big way, right? Does anyone here not like writing that much? Like you'd prefer not to write, like you'd rather just talk or something. So, writing is an art; it's a skill set. So, thank you for doing that, for volunteering that. That's 2 to 3 hours that you could be doing many other things as well too. So, we're still updating these. And also, by the way, if you saw, I've also updated a video. So we're in the midst of doing this, but I've updated a video that we posted earlier. And this video is our main presentation that will be in the updated day and night drops machine. But it's what are the day and night drops with Barbara Cox. Has anyone here, if you watched this already, give me a wave and put a 1 in the comments. If you haven't yet, put a 2 in the comments. Like that's your homework. Take a look at that. And Barbara Cox Lovesley did an amazing job. We just spliced it in, and we're going to work on the actual link, on the actual machine. So our goal is next week, I hope that we can present to you an actual Australia, New Zealand system. Now, the system already, by the way, has already produced a lot of success. The system has already produced vice presidents here and directors and managers in so many different places, right? So think if we could already do what we did already with a system that is promoting products that aren't even your products. Imagine what happens if we have an updated system. Isn't it going to be so much better? Yeah. And it's going to be cool because now instead of thinking pounds, and you're like, what's pounds? It's going to be kilograms, right? Kilos. People understand that, right? Like imagine you don't have to translate these things. So I'm telling you, one of the biggest opportunities is in the midst of transition, in the midst of growth. Something City McKnight says is there's money in the mess. And that's why I kind of like getting involved during times like this, because you get the up close personal viewpoint of all of this. So going back to my story though, once there was a system in place, which we already have, we're just going to make it even better. Dana and Amelia said they found somebody in Australia And in 4 months, that team grew to 4,000 people. 4,000. Think about 4 months. What if the same thing happened here 4 months from today? That is still within 2024. Can you imagine what that's going to be like? Can you imagine waking up? It's a good problem to have. You see the Facebook group blowing up with brand new Aussies and Kiwis everywhere. You take a look at your back office and you're looking at your tree. You're like, who are all these people? You see promotions happening left and right. Your paycheck reflects that, by the way. How nice would it be if you opened up your back office and you just looked at your volume report and you're like, where is this coming from? How am I getting paid? It's almost like you feel guilty for getting paid that. But all it takes is one person. We have the right systems. We have the right tools. We have the right leadership. What does it take right now? It takes leaders with that vision to be willing to just do the daily do. The willingness to follow the simple systems that there are. Because you know what people are looking for? They're looking for vision and they're looking for systems. We have that. You have that. So as you go out there and you continue to spread the seed, one customer at a time, one post at a time, one new partner at a time, the seed will always land on good ground. Okay. So I hope you're ready for that, because that's where I want to go. I want excuses to go out to Australia and New Zealand more and have you guys just be super excited and about that. Okay. So next week, stay tuned. That's going to be our mission. And what's the mission here? Your challenge, my challenge to you. I'm going to say this over and over and over again. Who here would agree that if you had 5 more teammates on this call right now, that it could help your business scale and duplicate faster? One thing I've learned is leverage. One thing I've learned is leveraging support. Because I'll also say this as well too. My goal is not to do this call for forever, because it's going to grow so big so fast that you're going to do the call, or there's going to be other things that are going to happen, right? My goal is not to hog the stage. I'm just kind of holding a space right now as we're putting everything together. But when we have this opportunity, why not take advantage of it? I'll go back to the beginning. I hope it's okay to share a lot of stories. Like, this is the fun time, guys, when we're like small enough where we can actually like get to connect like this, you know? In the future, when it's huge and there's like hundreds and thousands of people, it's different, right? You always have to cater to the newest person. You always kind of have to say the same thing over and over and over again, right? Yeah, exactly, Lucia. You'll book us for calls. Like that's exactly what's going on. Dana and Amelia, they just launched. They're crushing things, and they're booking us for a call. You know, it's like, oh, call. You know, it's like awesome. But I remember what happened was, and I'd encourage you to take a look at this development as being a brand new person. You know, just kind of take it like it's a fresh start. I remember I followed my mentor and I was super diligent with going through the trainings, and your homework is to make sure that you master the basics, right? Lucia knows the boards, for example, super well because she's now making them, but she was already using them before. You want to make sure the things that you do on the baseline are the things that are duplicatable. You want to make sure that you know how to utilize the onboarding system with our 5 steps to success, that you know where all the tools are. You want to make sure you understand the 7-day launch system, how to post, how to market, how to do the engagement sandwich, how to follow through with the scripts going into the machine. Like, these are the things that you want to get really good. Mihi knows. She's a professional athlete. How much does she have to drill the same thing over and over and over again before it becomes second nature, right? So the same with this business. But you know what's cool about this business? It pays super well if you master the details. Let me give a quick note here. I learned that it takes, on average, 25 exposures to the same concept before you get it. 25. So mastery will not be one time. 5 times, 10 times, over and over and over and over again. So if you're not seeing speed in your business, it's more than likely you're not applying the little details in your business yet. And it's okay. Lean in and think, what am I missing? Or how do I do this more? Did I make my post today? Did I engage with other people? Am I posting things about myself, my personal posts? Am I inviting out, right? There's a series of things that I won't go through today that you'll find in our launch steps, right? So as you do that, you will get consistent results, right? If you do consistent things, it will give you consistent results. So I remember I was in this mastery process. And then I remember I finally got my first teammate that said, yes, I will come to a training. You know, that first teammate that partners with you, you're not the lone crazy nut anymore. Like that's an amazing day. Like, yes, it happens, right? And then I remember I got this person started because I follow the systems. I'm like, and I'm like, now what? What do I do? And one of the best things that I did is I said, well, if I don't, I'm going to learn how to train. And now it's pretty simple because you just link them through with the onboarding system. And I get really good with that. But I realized, I'm like, well, if I'm going to a training like this anyway, why don't I just bring my teammates here too? Because I'm going anyway. Like that's just spending the same time. And, you know, I'd rather have my mentor train them rather than me train them. So I started going to the training and I brought this new teammate of mine with me. And she was so excited and she was bubbly and she was taking notes and she grew faster than me, guys. Like she hit like ultimate faster than I did. She did all the stuff faster than I did. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I wasn't necessarily training her, but I did promote to bring her. One skill you want to get really good at is the art of promotion. How do you promote? Okay, promotion. What is promotion? Promotion is the top paying skill in this business. It's not selling products. While that does pay well. It's not recruiting partners. While that does pay well. It's not making the machine. That pays nothing, actually. It's not doing boards. Thank you, Lucia. Technically, you doing that pays you nothing, right? You're using it pays you money, right? But the top paying skill in our business is promoting events. You got to get really good and knowing how to talk to someone and convey them the value to come to something. Let's say it's like this. Okay. And why is that the case? Because you only have 24 hours in a day, and most of you have way less because you're busy, you have work, you have sports, you have kids, you have life, right? We all got life going on. Who here would love 4,000 teammates in your organization? No, not a trick question. Like you want like that'd be nice, or 4,000. Okay. I want you to really think if you had 4,000 people join right now, you still have the same amount of time a day that you're putting in your business, an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever that you're doing. Would you be able to handle it? Are your philosophies dialed in? Do you have an awareness of the tools? Do you know where to point people, where you can do it fast enough? See, I'd rather overtrain and be over-prepared for 4,000 rather than have it and then miss. Right? You don't want to miss out on the opportunity. You want to overtrain. Mickey knows this as an athlete. You train so much that you can't get it wrong. And then you land and you get there, right? But one art that you want to get really good at is promotion. What's promotion? Let me tell you what promotion is not. Promotion is not going in the group chat and saying, guys, we have this team training. It's going to be amazing. I hope you come. Promotion is not relying on someone else to give an announcement in a chat group. Promotion is as amazing as, and our hearts go out, by the way. If you're a person of prayer, definitely pray for Stanley. He's had a very unfortunate loss in people that he really loves. But, you know, Stanley made our amazing flyer, for example. Isn't that awesome? Fina, you look real good. I love that photo of you. So this is not promotion. Promotion is a personal talk. Okay. So how would you promote? Let's say I'm talking to Lucia and Lucia's brand new. At one point, Lucia didn't know anything. And now, Lucia, you come to everything. Lucia makes more events than I make. It's like intense, right? So I want to promote. So it's going to be a private conversation. And I'm going to convey to her the value of why something is important for her. Okay. Like, hey, Lucia, I know that you're really committed to being a better leader for your people. I know that you have big goals to be able to help out children in the education system. I know you want to do some amazing things in this business. And you know, one of the most important things that I've learned is that training is super important so we can get you better. And I don't know if you saw, we have a unique opportunity to get trained directly by the top leadership in this team. You're going to hear from people like Fina Toscana. She knows so much about the product. She's one of our vice presidents here. You're going to hear from people like Stanley, who was able to pioneer and really launch New Zealand. You're going to hear even from somebody like James, who's been involved in this company and he's been promoting these drops for 13 years. And he's going to show us all the secrets. So, Lucia, I know you being here is going to benefit you tremendously. It's over Zoom. It's going to be big. Hey, if I linked you to this, would you be down to come on? Lucia, what might you say?
Oh, yes.
Let's go. Right? You're going to say yes. But there needs to be that connection. There needs to be that heart. Because the event's going to happen anyway. You can do this you can also do this with watching a replay, whatever that it is. And let me tell you what I do. How do you start to scale fast? 80% of your time you spend with 20% of your people. So what is 80% time? What is 20% time? 20% of your people are the leaders. James, who's my leader? Who here wants more leaders in your organization? Like more of you, right? I know sometimes you feel like, is it just me? No, there's actually way better people than you out there. Way better people than me out there. I want way better people. There are amazing people. I mean, I just talked about Dana and Amelia as one example. They've made more money than I have in this business, by the way. They've built bigger organizations than I have. They have a lot more history. They've been involved in this industry for 23 years. They're way better than me in terms of a track record. And yet they're still attracted here. And I'm like, wow, isn't that so cool? Right? That's called favor right there. But you could do the same thing. So if you understand this notion, like 20% are going to be those that you don't have to motivate. Let me show you what to look for. Because this is one of the biggest mistakes that we make in a team building a business. We hope and we pray that when someone joins, that they're the one. We're like, yes, they said they're excited. They're going to blow it up. They have this social media following. They know so many people. They're so excited. And then you start to message them. Fina's shaking her head because she's like, I know exactly what we're talking about, James. And they tell you everything. We're going to rule the world together. I got this. I'm so excited. And then crickets. They ghost you. They're like, where'd you go? And you're like, family came up and kids are crazy. And that's okay. And then they say the same thing. I'm so excited. No worries, Fina. No worries, Mihi. I got this. I got this. They don't show up. Where'd you go? And now you have this weird feeling. You look at their name when it pops up. It's almost like you have someone you have a crush on. Remember back in the days, you had a crush and you see their name pop up and you get the heart flutters like, my gosh. That's what happened with me. It's almost like that. And it's really stressful. Sister, brother, that's not a leader yet. It's not a leader yet. Leaders are willing to do what they need to do. Right? When I asked Lucia, can you help with the board? She's like, yeah, let's go. Leaders are hungry. Fina's flying all the way to United States from Australia. She went out to New Zealand for an event, as many of you did. She flew there. She's flying here. She's flying here. That's not cheap. That's hungry. I mean, you can't deny ambition. Leaders are hungry. And also leaders are coachable. Coachability is important. Right? When you tell them to jump, they say, how high? They don't complain. Why do I have to jump? Mihi, have you coached someone before And you're like, do 10 push-ups. Why? You're like, I'm not coaching you. I'm trying to make you great. It's like that doesn't happen that way. So you want to start to be mindful of what to look for. And it's always and I just want to give you this early, because if you can adopt this mindset early, it's going to help you so much. This is why a lot of people get stuck in their business, because there's these roadblocks that they get stuck on because they put too much expectation and hope in somebody that is not yet ready. They're not showing with their actions that they're there yet. Here's what you want to do. You want to be your own best leader. You want to be able to put your feet first. Here's my challenge to you. Question, pop quiz. We have one strategy that we focus on in this business that we say that if you do this, it'll lead you to 6 figures in 6 months. 10 and 2, Lucia knows. 10 and 2. Question, when was the last time you did that? When was the last time you did that? For me, I'm always checking myself. Mihi did it right when she got launched. Awesome. Fina and Uses have done it before. Congrats. Many of us are working on it. But you know what I think is this? I think, what kind of a standard and what kind of a pace do I want to set? Think, if you have 4,000 people join your team, what kind of a pace would they want to see from their leader that they join? If 4,000 people today were looking around in all of Australia and New Zealand, and they said, I can only pick one person to join, why would they join you? That's how I think. And when I started to think this way, it's not a competition against anybody, but it's a standard, right? I said, I want to lead from the front. I can change the direction. I can change the decision. It is a decision. Over and over and over again, I've heard in 10 and 2 stories, they said, I made a decision, I made a commitment, and I just did it. I just did it. Mihi, when she launched, she's like, I'm just going to do it. I don't know what that means, but I'm just going to do this thing. And boom, like in a day or two, 10 and 2, congrats. Let's go for the next one. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. So I think to myself, when am I going to check that one off? And I'm doing the same thing, by the way. We just went, and everything I say, I hope that you see me as the type of partner, collaborator, because I'm you, right? I'm just another partner like you. I hope that I'm always the type. I never want to be the type of person that tells you to do something that I don't do myself. So by the way, if you ever see me fall off and fall away, I give you absolute ability to check me. Like, tell me that I'm being hypocritical. Like, I am no ego in this. Like, Lucia corrects me all the time. I love it. Like, she's my grammarian, it's like, I'm like, if I had a paper, back in school, when you give in your paper, they give it back with all red marks and stuff. Like, I see my paper, I have never had that many red marks in so long, but it's okay. I love it. It's like, oh, I got it, So the key is continuing to lead from the front, and let me know if I'm not doing it. But we just wrapped up 10 and 2 again, I think last week. I think right now I'm at 6 or 7 customers again, and I just enrolled another 2 brand partners personally. This is while I'm launching 2 7-figure teams. So we're launching Dana and Amelia. There's another leadership duo you're going to meet soon. They built a $10 million team in another company. We're launching them. We're helping Cindy and Lindsay with the whole Revolution Partners group. We're helping this entire organization while having a baby on the way. We were just doing a maternity photo shoot. So right before this, we're picking out photos and stuff like that. We're somehow trying to stay sane. We're all busy. It's a reality, right? My whole purpose of saying this is it's never about your schedule. It's never, if you find yourself ever saying, man, I'm so busy, I won't ask you to raise your hand, but I want you to do a mental note. Have you ever found yourself in your business saying, I'm so busy all the time, I don't have time all the time? My question to you is, why is that the case? Does it have to be that way? What if you could have a business that could be different? What if you could have a business that runs so smooth that you're not busy, that you have just enough time to do everything that you want all the time? Because it changes the way that you do things. It changes the way that you view things. So what does that actually look like? I obsess about 10 and 2 personally all the time. And you, even if you don't make it, you do your best to go towards it, right? Because it's that scout. We got to do something. I know Esther's always aiming for it. She hasn't hit it yet, but she's going for it. She's getting better and better and better and better. I'm so proud of her for doing that. Esther's enrolled a lot of people, by the way. Like, it's incredible, right? You know what's great about this business? If you fail your goal, you still make money. Like, that's great. So it's not like, it's not horrible, right? But I want to set myself to a different standard and think, how do I personally check it off the list? I want to do it for myself. I want to lead from the front. Number 2, am I doing it in a way that is duplicatable? If my teammate were next to me, could I tell them, this is exactly what I did? Now, I'm not saying don't do other things. Like, I do a lot, by the way. Like, I have a YouTube, I do a Bible study, I do a lot of stuff, right? Those are all great. Do everything. All business is great. But at the core, there's a lot of solo parents, Jonna. Absolutely. This business is built for single parents. By the way, you might want to make a post. Do this in the Warrior Movement Facebook group. I think it'd be great for single parents to connect. Make a post. Be like, is anyone else a single parent here? That's a great question. Like, build a support group. Okay. Each of us need all of us. So I have my target. I have my simple strategy. What you focus on matters. When Mihi's coaching her people, I'm pretty sure Mihi coaches them to only think about the win at the end of the day. You're not thinking about losing, right? Mihi, feel free to mute yourself. If I was your mentee, your student, your athlete, and I came up to you, I'm like, Mihi, you know, I'm just so scared that I'm gonna lose and I'm not gonna do well. And you know, like, what would you tell me?
That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable behavior. But from the outset, we set our goals and our expectations. What do you expect from me as your coach? And then I get them to write it down. And then this is what I expect of you. And so we marry the two up so they know well in advance. What is the goal? Oh, to participate. Sorry, you're in the wrong crew. We want, we want a podium. No, we've got to go for the ultimate, which is the gold. If you go for gold and you're still falling off the ladder, well, you might hit bronze. But if you're going to participate, sorry, you're going to have to find yourself another crew. Yeah, that, and it's about being, it's tough. It's a tough call, but it separates them out, and it's just like, no, step up, or because I'm going to give all of my time and energy to you. So the expectation is this is the expectation I have of you, and it might be a few key things that I expect of them. And everyone knows to abide by that. Anything outside of that, well, if I can't do that, don't make any excuses. Yeah, I don't accept any of their excuses. And they know now, they know the boundaries, they know the levels, what's acceptable, what's not. So, but they know that well in advance. Yeah, so the goal doesn't change. It's, today's session, it's still gold on the podium.
So good. You know, it's powerful. Thanks for doing that. I love seeing you in your zone of genius. That conversation, you could literally put Partner Co into that, couldn't you?
Yep.
We're going
Pretty
for
much.
the ultimate. We're going for gold. Like, isn't that like our key thing? It's like, it's literally the same thing. So that mindset is so important. I know. Now in here, it's a slight difference. You can't necessarily say that to everyone because we are in a business where everyone has different types of goals, right? When Mickey's coaching an athlete, it's kind of under the intention that they should be there because they want to win. Here we have like a mix, right? Not everyone not everyone's hungry. That's okay. But if you have a conversation like that and they're scared, you can kind of tell that's not the right person. I love what you said, Mihi. I'm going to pour a lot of time in you. That's exactly what it is. So in your business, it's the same way. We will pour a lot of time into you, into your people. You're going to pour a lot of time into your people, but you do want to make sure that they check off all the boxes, right? So you cannot afford to invest into certain people if they're not following the system, right? Like really focus on that. So number one, 10 and 2. Number 2, doing things in a duplicatable way. I loved, and I take notes on what successful people do. I still remember when Cindy and Lindsay launched your business back in January 10th, and they were so scared, and they were messaging me and like, we're about to launch your business. And I'm like, all right, what are you going to do? I thought it was going to be a big call or, big fireworks or something huge. And I remember all they did is what we teach everyone to do, which is to make their pinned color block Facebook post. And they just posted. I'm like, really? That's it? They can do a lot of things, and you can, right? Do in-person meetings, do three-way calls, do in-person things, like do all of it. But I would also suggest that at the main direction, keep the main system the main thing too. Why? Because if you want to duplicate, then people are going to ask you, how'd you do what you did? And if you're scared to do it, and they're like, oh, I know you can do that, but I might not be able to do that, then it causes a block in duplication. So because they did that, 6 months later, they had 1,100 partners join their business. And it's just exploding like crazy, right? So have the goal in mind of 10 and 2, master the systems and take advantage of everything and drive towards that. And then on top of that, express your uniqueness, by the way. Do what you're gifted at. Like, I think one of the most special things here, you are the X factor. You want to show up as the authentic self, the authentic best of yourself. Each of you have gifts and talents that all of us do not have, and take advantage of that. Absolutely. Lean into that. But just kind of understand this order of priorities. And if you do all these things together, you're going to see how this thing's going to pick up. So my challenge this next week, as we continue to do this, I want to keep on doing this, is how close are we going to 10 and 2? Have you made that a goal? I'm looking for the next one. Oh, can I tell you guys something first? Because I'm talking to you first. No one else knows this yet. I've been kind of busy. Okay. So as you may know, in our mastermind group, once you hit 10 and 2, you have the ability to accept an invitation to come into our mastermind, which Mihi, by the way, you can if you want, because you already hit 10 and 2. But I'm about to add more fire to the 10 and 2 group. This is a group that I'm going to go over like a lot of really cool training. Fortunately, Esther said each of us has a place of excellence. Exactly. Fortunately, I've been blessed to make a lot of cool connections in Partner Co. over time. Okay. Who here would believe that all it takes is one person, one mentor, one conversation to change your life? You never know when it's going to happen. So I got busy today and I called up my friends from all over Partner Co. And I told them that we have this amazing, amazing mastermind group. And I was asking, would you be down to come on and share some wisdom up close, front, and personal? The rest of the team will not get this because, to be honest, if they got this, it would be overwhelming. This is for people that already have the basics down. This is for people that want to think, how do I take 10 and 2 to the next level and duplicate it? This is for upper level strategy. So not this Monday or Tuesday for you guys. Our mastermind is now at, I think that's 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. Sydney and 11 a.m. New Zealand on Tuesday. So that's our mastermind days. And Esther, don't tell anyone yet in US, but you'll find this out first. I was going to tell the Academy team tomorrow, But I have locked in some of the most phenomenal trainers to train us. Starting August 19th, I'm going to bring on someone like a Dr. Crystal Vance to train us on business stuff. If you know Dr. Crystal Vance, besides her amazing drop story, she grew her circle of health group from 300 people to 33,000 people just this last year or two. And she's one of the top producers in this company. She's not just a health professional, she's a business guru. What would you want to ask Dr. Crystal? Start thinking about that. I pulled out Greg and Lanika Scott. If you don't know Greg and Lanika, they've made $40 million in 10 years, guys, in their previous company. That's nuts. I mean, I'll take one of those millions, please. You know, and they are phenomenal leaders in PartnerCo. They're amazing at duplication and culture. But I pulled them and they said, we love to come on and train this mastermind group. I'm pulling out Todd Rowland. I asked Todd and Ashley, these are all crossline sis, right? I said, guys, we have this mastermind. Like, would you be willing to coach us? Todd's leading one of the fast. He's number 3 power ranker in all of the world right now. The world. And just crushing it. So we're having him train us on, there's a lot of things that we can talk. I've also locked in Coach Palmer himself too, who's number 2 in all the world in power ranking. These are some phenomenal people. What if you just got one golden nugget from each one of them and you were able to implement that? So what we're going to do in our mastermind, I'm so excited for you. My gosh, I don't even know what's going to happen. It's going to be great. It'll be a lot of fun. Every time we're going to have an amazing training, but we're also going to show you how to implement it. I think one thing, if anything, that I'm good at is implementing information. Because who here knows it's not education that makes you money. It's implementation that makes you money. That's what matters. So we're also going to show you and help you take what we learn and put it into action for you. I'm telling you, this type of a group, if we put this up and we charged money for it, which we're not going to do, people would pay thousands of dollars just to be on those calls. Like it's valuable. Here, you know what I love about our business? Not only is it free, but all we're asking you to do is to make money so that you can make more money. Isn't that cool? And we've already given you the tools. We've already given you the stuff. And it's going to be awesome. Okay. So you got a head start from the rest of the team in the organization. This will be not this upcoming week, but then there's around 10 days on the clock. So it's in your best interest. If you're not 10 and 2, go 10 and 2. If you are 10 and 2, it's your best. It'd be wise to think who in my team could do 10 and 2 and help them. And if you're like, well, I don't have anyone that could do 10 and 2, time to roll up the sleeves and go recruit some new teammates and help them get in too. The best trained team is going to win, and it'll be to your advantage. Can you imagine if you had one more person with you in this and then walk through all of these? And I have more on my list, by the way. That's just some. What kind of team could you develop? It's going to be so good. Peter said we're ahead of time. So it's fair to get a head start. Absolutely. Okay. So other than that, next week, reminder, we will do this again. I'm going to have to push it 1 hour forward next week. We'll send out reminders on that because I'm committed to another call at the same time as this call, but I'm down to do another call because next week I would love to introduce upgraded systems and tools, and hopefully we'll have the machine by then. But any questions or comments, guys? Or any feedback?
James, sounds exciting. So cool.
Absolutely. So Fina, next week it'll be I'm referring to this call that we're doing right now. So next week will be 11 a.m. Sydney and 1 p.m. New Zealand for the next Saturday call that we do. Yep. Okay. Anything else on your mind, on your heart? Okay.
I
We know
just,
what
I
to do.
just wanted to say something. I was talking to a nurse who was just asking about the business, and I was just asking her what she wanted, and she wasn't too sure, and she said, "I'll give it a go," and blah blah. Exactly like we were talking about wanting committed people, and I just looked at her and I said, "No, I don't think this is for you." And she looked at me. I said, "If you are happy working shift work." If you are happy begging for leave for like 7 months, sometimes I used to put in my leave and have to wait for 7 months. By the time the fares have gone up, everyone has bought their tickets. My family is having this reunion, and I still have no idea if I'm going. And I said, if you're happy with the money you're earning, if you're happy budgeting, you said you're happy with all of that, then don't worry about this business. And she looks at me and I said, but if you want to make a change, then we can talk. And she's like, yeah, I'm sick of where I am at. Yeah, let's have a talk. And I've just realized that we have to come to the point that we understand what we have. And we are not here. We are here to motivate people. We are not here to beg people to join us. But they should want to do it. Because if they are not motivated, I could spend countless hours trying to, push this horse to the river to drink water, but they don't want to drink water. And I felt so powerful when I did that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna turn her down if she's not the right person. I just wanted to share that.
Posture. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. You take Fina's attitude and you take Mihi's coaching talk and you take everything we had here. You run into this week, you're going to be unstoppable. Congratulations, sister. That was amazing. Awesome. Hey, well, we love you. We're so proud of you. We're so excited and expectant for this market. I'm telling you, Australia and New Zealand is quickly getting on the map in PartnerCo as a whole, because this team is doing some incredible things, but we're just getting started. 4,000, imagine that. It's going to happen. Okay. Anything that you need, let us know. And ball is back in your courts. All right, guys, have a blessed weekend. Travel safe, Mihi, and we'll talk soon.